Hi, my name is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed non-binary reggaeton and hip-hop artist, GOLDILOCKS. For more on GOLDILOCKS, but they said I could call them Goldie. For more on Goldie, you can read more about them right below this video. But in the meantime, here is a sneak peek at the amazing talent of an amazing human and artist, the one and only GOLDILOCKS.
She a bad bitch, better than your average. Shorty, she a savage. She ain't really looking for the marriage. Embarrassed, she'll never do that shit. And when I'm fucking on her, I'll be saying, you that bitch. Hey, you make me feel some type of way, baby. Hey, when you don't give me the time of day, baby. Solo te veo por la noche. Amiga con derecho a roce, de amores ella no conoce. Wait, you make me feel some type of way, baby. She don't want love, she just want a good time. Trust me, I know, I give it a good try. She don't let me in her heart, when she look me in the eyes, she just fuck me in the dark. Let me lick her in the thigh.
Well, hello, GOLDILOCKS, how are you?
Hey, how are you? Good to be here.
GOLDILOCKS, I'm doing so much better now that I'm speaking with you. And the audience got a little sneak peek of your song, Type of Way. Talk to me about the impetus of Type of Way, how it all came about for you.
Type of Way really is just like an anthem dedicated to the people that know what they want from life and are not afraid to get after it. You know what I mean? Not worried about what others might think or say. They got a plan, they stick to it, and they look good doing it. That's what it's all about.
Hey, can I get an amen? Anyone?
Amen.
Hey, Goldie, thank you, because it's empty here. Listen, Goldie, what I also love about you is that you are so unapologetic. You obviously are someone that has done the work on themselves and also on their craft. You are an inspiration to anyone that might have felt their whole life, maybe a little bit of a misfit or outside the box. But the fact that you are unapologetically living your truth is incredible. I mean, I'm already tearing up and it's too early for that, but I don't give a ish because you really are inspiring, because I'm thinking about young Will who wishes he had a GOLDILOCKS to look up to. And I'm sure you get messages from people, non-binary, people who identify as women, as men. I'm sure you get messages all the time.
Yeah, and at shows is really where it gets to me, you know, like, because I'm in this like weird intersection of like, you know, the queer community, but also the Latin community and also the New York community. So there's so many kids just like me who grew up in this city or in other cities listening to hip hop or reggaeton or all this urban music, as we call it nowadays, and just like not really feeling represented. You know, like we all turn up to it because it's hot. We like how it feels, but we don't always feel represented or even respected as at the bare minimum in these places. And it all really came about organically for me. I never really thought about it. I just was like being myself, making the music that I wanted to make and I wanted to hear. And obviously who I am kind of permeates that without me even trying, right? Well, when I see people at shows or in my DMs, like actually saying that, being like, dude, I'm Dominican and I grew up in the Heights and I love reggaeton and I love to see you doing that. Or somebody being like, yo, I live in Miami and I'm from Cuba and I'm queer and I don't really see anybody doing this and I feel represented. That for me is like amazing, because all I'm doing is being myself and all they're doing is being themselves. Like we all should be, you know what I mean?
Well, this is what I love about the GOLDILOCKS vibe, is that you have a universal, relatable essence to you. And the fact that you happen to be non-binary, you know, isn't the end all be all. It's a part of you that you're very proud of. But I love that what you are showing is the essence of light in your viewpoint. And whether there obviously is going to be people from all spectrums of life who can relate to you and your music and your story, because you're so unapologetically authentic about it. And that's a beautiful thing.
That's really like all I could be. Like, you know, like I'm kind of one of those people that's like, I hate faking. I hate small talk. I hate bullish, you know, like I just want to be comfortable, you know, and I want to make other people feel comfortable. So I just act like myself. You know, if you act like all like perfect and trying to be somebody, people around you are going to get like,
oh, and people can smell you sweating a mile away. I get it, my
you know,
friend.
like it's uncomfortable. You're making people feel awkward. Just be yourself, even if it's not perfect or it's not what they expected you to be. They're gonna like you more if you just be who you are than if you try to be who they wanted you to be. And you know what I mean?
Oh, and there's like perfection in perfection. You know, as a director, I'm always telling actors, you know, and performers, because I was a performer for many years myself, you know, it's within those moments of vulnerability of not being perfect that people are like, oh my God, they're real, they're human. Like all this perfect-ish, like everything filtered, literally and figuratively, in the social media world. I mean, at the end of the day, it's cute for a minute, but like in terms of having a long-lasting career, it's all about being authentic, and that's what you got.
Thanks. I couldn't possibly have it any other way. I'm really bad at faking.
I love Goldilocks. I love it. And listen, obviously these past 18 months have been tough for everyone, especially artists. I'm curious what you were able to do during the quarantine that kept your creative juices flowing.
Dude, when the shutdown happened, I was about to record my album. Well, I did record my album in 2 days because I had to, because everything was about to get like locked down. And I only found one recording studio that would take me in the middle of the pandemic. It was so weird, masks, you know, it was the first time I ever had an experience like this. So in that time, I built this studio in my basement. And ever since then, I've just been, you know, learning how to record myself and do like base level mixing and editing to send it off to my engineer, who's been with me since the jump. I've been working with this guy since the jump, Kevin Cutler.
I love it. Well, Goldie, what I also love hearing from you and all the other artists who have been able to pivot and really learn the business side of show business even more, right? You freaking built a production house in your basement. Artists are now more than ever are realizing, oh my God, I can save how much money by just maybe investing in my own spot. And you can do it at all hours on your time.
Yeah, I think the biggest hurdle for people in terms of like taking the leap and recording themselves or taking, you know, the investment in building a studio, I think it's like the education. You know, people feel like they're not educated enough to start. And like my suggestion for people would be like, get a base level of education and then learn everything else as you go.
As just through the doing.
Right. That's the only way you're really going to remember, because you can sit on YouTube all day and be like, okay, do this and that. You're going to forget. Like,
and you probably learned, Goldie, correct me if I'm wrong, you probably learned more from your mistakes, whatever that is, but they aren't. Those are, I think, breakthroughs.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, and I'm also blessed, you know, like the engineer that I work with who mixes and masters my stuff, we've been working together for a long time. So whenever I'm like, yo, where should I put the mic in the room? I just call him. I'll be like, yo, what do you think?
You have a shorthand.
You know what I mean? And then he'll give me his suggestion, and sometimes I'll do it. Sometimes I just won't, and I'll make the mistake and learn my own way.
I love it, Goldie. Listen, before I let you go, I want to let everyone know for more on the incredible Goldie, you could read more about them right below this video. Goldie, final question. If you could give advice to young Goldie, what would you give them?
I would tell young Goldie, focus on yourself a lot more. You know, like I've only been a solo artist really since like 2019, I want to say, you know, but I was in a million groups before. And like, I always kind of felt like I needed to have like an entourage, a crew, like everybody kind of moving together. And I realized that like, the more that I focused on myself and I was like, I'm going to be the one to learn how to produce. I'm going to be the one to learn how to record myself. I'm going to be the one, you know, the more I focused on myself and my skills, the better I've been able to find people who actually fit the roles I want to fill. So I think if I had started doing things independently, you know, not that I was not indie, but like independently as a human being, you know, I think if I had started doing that a little bit sooner, then I would be a little bit smarter right now. But we out here.
But Goldie, well, exactly. Well, I was just about to say, you know, you're doing the thing. And I'm going to also jump on that bandwagon and say, I think you maybe had to go through that to truly realize that Goldie is enough.
Right.
And what a
Yes.
beautiful message.
Damn, dude, I'm about to cry.
Goldie, don't get me started. I've been trying to hide. I've been trying to hide the tears through this little like cap. But really, Goldie, you I think of young Will who was alone at that cafeteria table. And I wish I had someone like you to look up to. And I'm so grateful as I've gotten to during this quarantine, reacquaint myself with my inner child. And he is jumping up for joy that
I love that.
he found you, my friend. And I'm so grateful that we're connected now, Goldie, truly.
Me too. Yeah, I followed you on Instagram. We're like friends now. So
Goldie, it's official, baby.
Yes.
God bless you. And I can't wait to talk with you soon.
Likewise. Thank you so much for having me here.